Brian, thanks for being with me today as we talk about LSCI. One of the things is that I want to talk about is that you were trained along with the rest of the building this particular summer, literally 6 weeks ago. What have you noticed about the building staff, culture, morale, approaching working with your students in general? And you can go tell us whatever you want to tell us about.
I think the staff morale from the 3 days that we met, like starting in that time and then going till now, has done nothing but improve. I thought it was great then. I think that it was just kind of that motivating factor that we needed, possibly a fresh start from last year and a new way of thinking that I think has helped everyone, in every position of our program to really, come together and have a better understanding of why we're here, what this is, how this can help the students, and why we're really here, in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that having that kind of the solid, consistent basis and, background, if you will, in education for the kids is just helped immensely. And I think the common language that we're using, the attitude and thinking kind of the children first or students first at all times, and getting to realize that, the surface issue isn't necessarily the issue, and giving the time and effort and energy into working through, the cycle, I think is just helped immensely. And I mean, it's staff from, as mentioned, almost on a daily basis that they've, used the LSCI, or even parts of it, or just, even giving that drain off, which I think oftentimes, previously people might have been a little quicker to judge or quicker to just say we need to change it, as opposed to giving the time for the student to, get to the point that they were even able to process, and I think that the processing piece and the desire to process has increased, with, everyone in our program. So it's not just been, a couple people, it's been everyone, which I think in a small program, where we all know each other and, you kind of, I think maybe in the past have gotten used to each other, what they would do. That's just the way I did it. That's the way you did it. That's the way, she did it. And now it's much more focused and consistent, which I think for the students and the staff is phenomenal.
Great. Let me ask you, Brian, in terms of yourself, and I often refer to faculty and staff, people that are already on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
You are one of those, and I can say that sincerely based on my interaction with you. But because of the LSCI training, what has been underlined, highlighted, or even provoked in you to do differently, to do better, if you will? What about you?
I think for me,
as a staff member,
I think for me, it's just that constant reminder of, and I kind of said before, like why I'm here, and I think that you see children that are in crisis, you see children that have trauma, and, you take this position, and it's kind of like, what am I going to do? Are we just here to educate? Are we here to help? Are you here to guide? And I think that the LSCI program really gives you that chance to do all, so you can get to the educating part once you get past, maybe the issue of what they're going through, and having the knowledge, the staff that is consistent. It's like you're reminded, so it's almost, you see on the board the poster, like, oh yeah, what
Right.
should I use now?
Right.
Or, you heard that story from a staff member 20 minutes earlier, like, oh, this is a similar situation, now I can act. So it's just those kind of things that I think have definitely helped me, to raise my awareness, because, I mean, I had done the training previous to when we did, and even so, I think that there were times, like, I would go, oh, why didn't I do that? Or why didn't I do this? But, now that it's not just 2 of us that are trained, it's, 10 of us, so it helps kind of that constant, motivation, if you will.
Good. Okay. I'm wondering, as a young professional, what would you be advising, if you could advise university level people, college level people, administration? What would you be advising them in relationship to the training that you get to become a teacher? In other words, do you see a space for LSCI in the general training for future teachers?
Certainly. And I mean, I think definitely, when you think the special ed component, I mean, I always kind of laugh that, I'm certified to teach any branch of special ed, if you will, but I couldn't teach second grade math, and I think that a lot of the kids that you do deal with on a daily basis, regardless of, what you teach, are dealing with things, and I think that it's so important. And, I feel when I did a special ed program, but you had people that were just coming into it and had been teachers for years, and you didn't have that necessarily the mindset of thinking about the student. It was more focused on, academics, and I think that the population that we specifically deal with far less in the day is academic sometimes. There's a lot more dealing with the trauma. And I think that having that understanding, having that, like, the goal and basic way of understanding of how to, help students through that and help yourself, through that situation. So instead of just being like, no, you need to do this, let's get to that point. Let's see what's going on so that we can then open the time to and teach you, and I think that would definitely be helpful,
Great. If I ran out of questions, I have many, but I want to get to some of your other colleagues. But if there was something that I would be missing in asking you that you can think of as far as giving feedback or opinion on, what would it be regarding LSCI?
I think the program itself is really strengthened our program. And I said, kind of touched on before, but thinking back, to the last couple of years and to this year, like what's changed, the attitudes of staff are consistent. The attitudes of staff are more, open to expanding, the knowledge and learning, and I think that, people that are able to now say, hey, maybe I didn't do this right, or maybe I should have done this differently last year, or, oh, I'm doing this so much better, or, oh, I noticed this with a student, I noticed that with myself. Just that the ability to reflect and grow. I think it's the growth we've had in just these 6 weeks has been exponential compared to how we've grown the previous 3 years that I've been here to the beginning of the program. And I think that's a testament for the program. It's, again, a testament for the staff, and our, like, desire to grow, and I think it was something that definitely opened up for us and gave us that chance to really excel, which I thought was, you can't ask for a better thing, and really, like, I think that each staff member, we've, helped each other grow, because it is like, that consistent push to, hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? What are we doing? Talking about the kids differently, talking about the program itself differently, and I've not seen it more positive since I started,
Wow.
so.
Great. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem.